Hi! So I just wanted to give a little tutorial about how to add students to our Sadlier Connect so we can start assessing the students, at least sort of trying to get some data, and we can move on in math. So hopefully this will work. So my class is already set up. So I just signed in K Walheim, and then my password is SKS19087. If that's not doesn't work for you with your first and last name, maybe just use mine. I think that is completely fine. So our book obviously is the fourth grade, but what you're going to do is you're going to go down here and you're going to click on the settings and you're going to do manage students. So now we're at manage students, and you have to add each student, but it really does not take that long. So what you're going to do is you're going to add student. Okay, student ID doesn't matter. You're just going to do first and last name. So I think I have, so like if you were doing your class, you'd fill in like Sally, last name Smith, okay, grade level 4, and then what it does, so grade level 4. So then it creates the username for you. So it says S. Smith. So if it was Nick Canuso, it would be N. Canuso. So then you are going to create the password. So what I did for my class is I just made everyone have the same password, Walheim 1. So you could do it anything, math 1, 2, 3, D Clemente 1, whatever you want it to be. The reason I did this is because it's going to be the honor system. I mean, it's just easier to give that. So then you're going to save, and then you just add all of your students. So eventually, I'm going to cancel this. So you'll add all your students, and it actually is going to combine everyone that uses the program. So Anne's class is on here. I think Gav's class is on here, and my class. So there's a ton of students. So then once you've added all your students, and it really doesn't take that long. I think I did it with a show on, and it took, it was fine. Especially just making everyone with the same password, it was just easy. So then after you've added all your students, you're actually going to go down again, and you're going to press the settings, and you're going to do manage classes. So then when you're at manage classes, you're going to add a class. So you can name it whatever you'd like. Say we just do math 2020 subject math. I would name it with your name, grade 4. You don't need a class code. Then you're going to add students to the class. We'll just do math 2. Then you're going to do add students to class. When you do that, then you're just going to find the students that you just added, and you're just going to add them to your class. So this makes it pretty easy. You just find your kids, and then update students in class. So if I did just me, I made an account for myself, which I would make an account for you so you can test things out. So I'll just say update students in my class. Okay, so now you'll see that math 2 has 1 student. You can even see my class that I just made for my students and 25 students because I did make an account for myself. So it's just really helpful to have it organized. So then when I'm going to go back to the home page. So I guess my goal for this is once you've created your class, we can start kind of like assessing using questions. Now what's cool is we now have access where we can create our own sort of assessments, and we can actually just give the same ones to each other's classes. So I can totally do that. But over the weekend, I was going to make a tutorial for the students so they know how to orchestrate this whole thing. Once you make your class, you could just make a PDF file of everyone's username and password and just honestly email it to the class. That's what I'm going to do on Sunday, and I can show that to you. But we can give chapter reviews or chapter tests, and we can assign them to our class. So say we were giving the chapter 10 test to the class. This is how you create the assignment. If I'm going to give it to, actually I'll give it to math 2. Okay, this is what I want them to do. Save, okay. So then when they sign on, it will look like this. So they'll go to Sadlier Connect. Oh, I should log out. So my student account is this. And what happens, this is what it will look like for the students. So when they log on with the username and password that you just created for them by adding them, when they sign on, they'll say, oh, okay, like chapter 10 review. This is what I was thinking of giving next week. So I made something with 15 questions, okay? And they actually learned this right before the break. So this might be hard, but 2/3 of 45. I know 3 goes into 45 15 times. 15 times 2 is 30, okay? I click my answer. And there should be a save. But this is what they're, oh, so save, okay, so next to, then this would be number 2 question. And I'll make a tutorial for the students so that they can go over this as well. But this is what it would look like for them. So I hope that this helped you figure out how to add students. And if you just have to rewatch it, I think it's pretty easy. It's just they create the username and then just I would do a generic password. So what I'll send out to my class probably will look like this. If I go down to settings, manage classes. Oh, do you know what? I have to sign into mine. Sorry. Sorry about that. I'm going to log out and go to my teacher account. So now that I'm in my teacher account, I can kind of show you how to get like a total view of all their username and password. So I'll go to manage classes. And my class is here. So if I wanted to like print the roster, okay, so here's all their username and passwords. So actually what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna save this as a PDF. I'm on a Mac, so I don't know if it's the same on everything, but I'm gonna save as a PDF. So now I'm gonna have this. So this is a complete roster of my kids. So see, it's like their last name, first name, their username, and their password. So that's what they'll use to sign on to take these assessments. I'm gonna save it. I'm gonna call it math, I'll call it Sadlier Math Student Login, save, and then in my weekly email to my parents, I'm just going to send that out and explain it to them. On Monday, I'm going to send out a tutorial of how to kind of do this, so as a student's perspective. So I hopefully this was helpful. If you have any questions, let me know.